In the spring of 2012, I spent 4 months living and studying abroad in the country of Ireland. That March, my mother flew across the ocean for the first time, and we spent 6 incredible days exploring the Emerald Isle. Our very first morning, we were off. Despite the icy chill of the Atlantic Ocean, we couldn't help dipping our toes into the same ocean that my mother had grown up with as a little girl living in New Jersey. By far, the most breathtaking moment of the day, however, was the Cliffs of Moher. Walking along the paved trail was one thing, but walking along the dirt path with nothing between the ocean and us but the air was thrilling. Even after 2 hours of walking, we were still not able to reach the end of the cliffs and were forced to turn back. Galway is one of my personal favorite cities in Ireland. The quaint pedestrian walkway, traditional shops, home of the original Quadring, and pubs piping Irish traditional tunes set the tone for a truly Irish day. By far the best decision we made, though scary at times, was renting a car for the week. We were pretty fond of that little Nissan Micra by the end of the trip. Even though I had been in Ireland for more than 2 months at that point, I still had not been to the capital city, Dublin. Walking through the city, it felt more like a warm spring day than the blustery March that I was used to in New York. The ambience, the energy, the people, it is by far the friendliest city I have ever had the pleasure of exploring. Our time in Dublin was packed full. It was truly enjoyable after growing up in the country to be able to leisurely take in a city setting with my mom. One of the greatest fears we experienced was driving the 4 hours from Dublin to Killarney. Though Killarney is gorgeous in every way, the drive was long, and in the dark we didn't know where we were going exactly. What we couldn't know until the next morning was the breathtaking view we would behold just outside of our window. We were in the midst of what would be the bulk of our day as we spent 6 hours touring the Ring of Kerry. My mom and I experienced so many wonders in those 6 days. We got windburned from the Cliffs of Moher, gifts for each other from Thomas Dillon's in Galway, a taste of spring in Dublin, but we witnessed the miracle of life in Kerry. As we looked out over the Black Valley, we noticed several lambs climbing the rocky mountainside. As we moved closer, we realized that an infant lamb was desperately seeking his own mother as he tried to walk for the first time. Our tour guide estimated that it was only a few hours old. As my mother and I stood there for the better part of a half hour, I realized that this is what our trip was all about. Firsts, spending time with each other and witnessing extraordinary sights.